going to start a nice, fun experiment. And in my mind, it works out really well. What I got is I special ordered these off of Amazon. They're 3 inches deep, disposable trays, and they got a cardboard lid. And I thought, wouldn't it be neat if you could make a lasagna, a whole lasagna, for like a family, and freeze dry it. But obviously, because of the heights of the shelves and all that stuff, you can't do it. So I come up with the solution, and we're going to try it and see how it works out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make one in the pan, a whole one, and we'll bake that. And then I'm going to make one and freeze dry it, and we'll reconstitute that, and we'll bake both of them at the same time, and we'll do a comparison. That should be kind of fun. So right now I browned 5 pounds of ground beef. Now the ground beef I browned with no seasoning because I rinsed it with hot water to get all the fat off of it and all that stuff. So there's no sense in seasoning. So I just browned the plain ground beef, and that's over, set to the side. But what we're going to do now is put our sauce together. So I'm going to put a squishum of olive oil in there. Put this on medium high. Start. And we're going to brown some garlic. This is minced garlic that I got from the store. I'm going to put quite a bit of garlic in there. I like garlic in my Italian. So what would I say? That's about a tablespoon of garlic. If I was writing the recipe. This is 1 large sweet onion. So basically we're going to cook this until those onions soften up. Okay, those are starting to get translucent. So what I have is 2 large cans of crushed Muir Glen fire roasted tomatoes. I'm going to put 2 large cans of that in there. Then I got 2 cans of normal size cans of Muir Glen tomato sauce. Good stir. And this should make, if you follow me along here, I'm going to do 3 lasagnas in the freeze dryer for freeze drying, and then 1 lasagna for now to eat. Although I'm not going to eat it now because we're going to save it and we're going to cook it up when we cook the freeze-dried one, and we'll do a comparison. And I got this organic Italian seasoning from McCormick. Let's put a couple of teaspoons of that in there. Be nice. Alright, we'll bring that up to a boil. While that's coming up to a boil, let's go ahead and put our rinsed and drained hamburger. Now I did not use any pork because pork has fat. And we're trying to get some long-term storage out of this. And what I'm going to do is bring that up to a boil, then I'll reduce the heat, and I'm going to simmer that for about 20 minutes. Just to let the flavors all kind of meld together. And we'll move on to the next stage. Okay, we simmered that meat for 20 minutes. Now we're ready to make up our cheese mix. Now I might have went overboard on this cheese. There's a pound in here. This is ricotta. And I'm going to just use 1 pound at first and see what we end up with. 1 pound of ricotta. 1 pound of cottage cheese, which is a little bit less than this whole container. And for now, let's break these 2 eggs in here. 2 eggs. Let's get that all mixed up. Now I got 3 bags of mozzarella. I'm going to put 1 aside because we're going to use that for our topping. So let's put 2 bags. They're 7 ounces. Used to be 8 ounces, now they're 7 ounces. 2 bags of mozzarella in there. There's no inflation though. And I got a cup of Parmesan here. Let's give that a good mix. Oh, yeah, that smells good. Okay. So I cooked, let's see, 3, 6, 2, 6, 12, 24 lasagna noodles. Actually, I did a few extra. Okay, so we know we're going to put 3 of these layers on a tray. I'm making 3 lasagnas, so each tray is going to be 1 layer. So this tray will be the bottom layer of all 3 of my lasagnas. And the aluminum foil pan is just about the same width as that. So what I'm going to do, these are noodles I pre-cooked and they've been soaking in cold water. We're going to lay those out. For now I'm just going to lay them like this. Hopefully you can see some of this on camera. We're going to trim these up. I think what I'm going to do with my trimmed up pieces. So let me move this to where you can see it. So I got that like that. And see how the noodle is way wider than the pan? Well, I'm going to cut it just as wide as the pan. We'll use those noodles over here in my fresh. Now this is my bottom layer. I want you to keep in mind that I'm doing these upside down. So when I freeze dry these, when I take them out, I'm going to flip them over and put them in the pan. So actually I need to take this out because this one I'm not flipping over. I'll show you why in a minute. So the bottom layer, we want just a bit of meat sauce so it don't stick to the bottom of the pan. Now I'm trying to keep these about an inch, less than an inch thick. If I keep them less, this is 3 inches tall, the pan. So if I keep them less than an inch, I should have enough room to put them all in once they're freeze dried. What do you think? You guys think this is going to work? Okay, now we can put these noodles in there. Because this one I'm doing the right way up. Okay, so that's tray 1 for the freeze dryer. I'm going to stick this in the freezer. Here's tray 2. Now half of this is off camera, I realize that, and I do apologize. But we're going to do the same thing with the noodles. Okay, so I got my noodles laid out. 3 sets of 2 noodles. Now we're going to spread some cheese on those. Let me see if I can get that in camera and get to the cheese. Then top them off with some meat sauce. Alright. Put that aside because we need to do our unfreeze dried one. Put some cheese in there. Alright, put some meat sauce on that. I'm trying to keep these about the same amount. there you have tray 2, which is my second layer, going in the freezer. Tray 3. I'll go ahead and put these on here as I cut them. Okay, so that is my third layer. You see that? Now you might be saying, well, what are you going to do with that fourth layer? Well, you got to remember that I'm flipping those over. So right now when I flip that over, there's going to be noodles on the top of that. So I'm going to put a layer of meat in here without any noodles. This is going to be my top layer. What I think I'll do is just put little spoons of it here and there. Now this top layer right here, once it's partially frozen, I'm going to take a knife and kind of cut it into thirds. We don't want to waste none of this cheese. That ricotta is not cheap. Take that last pack of Parmesan. Not Parmesan, mozzarella. And just sprinkle that over the top of this. I think just for good taste, we'll go ahead and sprinkle some extra Parmesan on there. Make it look pretty once it browns up. Okay, so that's our top layer. Like I say, I'm going to freeze this until it's kind of firm, and then I'm going to cut that into thirds with a knife so that it'll be easy to separate once we freeze dry it. And that one, I'm going to throw this lid on. And we'll bake those at the same time. We will reconstitute one and bake one and see how they compare. I like these lids because what I'll do is once these are freeze dried, I'll weigh this, then I'll weigh one that I pack that's deep freeze dried, so it's going to be a lot lighter. Take the difference, and that's how much water I need to add. That's the plan anyway. So let me get this in the freezer. We'll get that freeze dryer started up. Well, I gotta let it freeze solid, so probably in the morning I'll throw these in the freeze dryer, and next time you see these, it'll be coming out and we'll do some packing. I'll see you then. And there we have it. There's my 3 lasagnas just come out of the freeze dryer. So let's don't waste any time and let's start getting this packaged up. Alright, so this is my bottom layer. We're going to flip them over. So far so good. They fit. They don't fit exactly. There's gaps around there. Alright. Then it's our next layer. Same thing, flip it over. That noodle came off. I'm not too worried about. One more. Oh, these noodles are a bit crumbly, which I don't think we're going to be an issue. It's just not going to hold together nicely in the tray. Because we're going to have to crush this down anyway, because these are taller, already taller. So I'm just going to crush it down. We still got to get a top layer on there. And the top layer didn't have a, remember it didn't have noodles in it. Hopefully this is going to work. I've invested a lot of money in this. It seemed a bit tall, to be honest with you. Okay. I'm not going to seal these up yet. Might just want to see if that'll fit on there. Yeah, it should do. That'll do alright. Alright. Let me get this arranged. I want to show you how I'm going to seal these up. So let me get to where I can get to my sealer, and I'll be right back. Okay. So this is the Vac Master Pro 380, which is basically will vacuum seal the textured bags. It's kind of like a industrial grade food saver. And it's got a compartment here that holds a roll of material. I've got this food saver type material, and I ordered this from Top Mylar, which is our discount Mylar bags. That's it. Only place to get it is discount Mylar bags, which is a roll of the textured Mylar, and it's expensive. It's like $1 a foot, and I'm going to need over a foot, I think, to seal these. But I'm going to double seal them. I'm going to seal them in the plastic. That way, if there's any sharp edges on the container, this will help protect that before I put this on. So, let's see. I'll get more than I need out there. Now this is the one that we're going to cook. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do in this is when I package these for storage, I'm going to fold up a piece of aluminum foil and stick it inside here. That way and a 300 cc O2 absorber. That way when it's time to bake it, we want to rehydrate it and bake, what I would do is open this up, take out my O2 absorber, fill it with enough water, and then use the aluminum foil to seal it and place it in the oven. But I'm not going to waste all that on this sample that we're going to eat today, or we're going to rehydrate today. That's a lot of lasagna. I won't eat it all today. There you go. So just pretend that's got a 300 cc O2 absorber and enough foil to cover the top. We're going to take our material here. I hope that pulls off enough. We're going to shove that in like that. I'm going to go plug it in, which I didn't do. Alright, we're going to turn the power on. Oh, there it is. I'm just going to heat seal one in. I should heat seal one in before putting that in there. This in here like that. See if it'll vacuum. That is sealed. Now, like I say, this roll of material is over $1 a foot. So, you want to be careful on what you use on that. You don't want to go overboard on it too much. The specs on this does not tell you the thickness of the bag, but I'm going to get probably about a 4 mil, and that is why I wanted to use a double bag on that, just to help protect it. If I was going to use this bag, which I don't want to waste it being $1 and all that, I'm going to use it on my other ones. Then I would just do the same thing I did with the clear bag, put it in there, and do a heat vacuum and a heat seal on it. I think I'd be tempted to put another 300 cc in here as well, in between the plastic and this. That way, if anything happens, you got a second backup on there. So, I would heat seal that. But since we are going to reconstitute that, I'll use that bag on one of my other two, and I can't really complete those at the moment because I want to weigh my fresh one, which is in the refrigerator, and weigh one of these and work out how much water is technically needed to add. I'm not going to go by that as gospel though. I'm going to go by sight, but it'll give me an idea of how much water to add. So let me get this put back away. Okay, that's set to pounds. So this is my fresh one, 4.058 lbs. All right. And that is the freeze-dried one. 1.02 pounds, 6. Okay. And let's do some handy dandy math here because I ain't genius, so I'll just write it down. Two, 3, 0, 3. So 3.03 pounds of water I need to add to that. This is 2 cups of water. And we're going to bring that up to 4.058. That's 3.27 and 4 cups. So I just added 5 cups of water. And we're at 3.96. That looks like too much water to me, but we'll see. Or hopefully I didn't ruin that. No, it still goes out to 0. Yeah. Okay. According to the weight, this should be it. It's 3.986, and it should be 4.056, but I think that's going to be enough. So, what I'm going to do when I rehydrate this, I don't know if this is recommended at home, alright? But I want to try and use this cardboard, let me get this folded over and I'll show you, lid. On one side it's got foil, on the other side it's got paper. And I think I'm going to try to rehydrate it with this sealed on there, so all that moisture will stay in the dish, hopefully. Alright, get some foil. I think I'll get away with this because I'm going to cover it with foil. What I'm worried about is that paper burning, obviously. And to be fair, this one will do the same. Okay, now I'm going to preheat my oven, and I'm going to pop them both in at the same time. This still has to rehydrate, but this is cold from the refrigerator, so it should be a pretty comparable time frame, I think. Let me get my oven preheated. What do you think? About 375? About 375. We'll bake this probably, I don't know how long. I'll let you know how long I bake it for. But in the end, once it's baked, I'm going to pull the lids off and stick them back in the oven to crisp up the top of the cheese on both of them. Probably give it about 10 minutes on that or something. We'll see. I'll let you know though. Alright, we'll see you when these come out of the oven. My tummy's rumbling. Okay, so here it is. They're all, the other two are packaged up. That's what it looks like. So these bags I was telling you about, I got from Discount Mylar Bags. The roll is 11 inches wide, 16 inches or 16 foot long, and then you just cut it to what you want. So I bought 2 rolls, and it worked out just under $1 a foot. So you want to be careful with these. Good thing about them, I suppose, is when I if I cut along where I heat sealed, you could probably reuse the bag. There's plenty of bag left. So I'll get those put away in my long-term storage. Oven is getting close to being reheated, and we'll pop these in the oven. I'll see you when they come out. Okay. So this is the fresh one. This is the rehydrated one. And my original instincts when I was putting the water in that looked like way too much water. And it was. It's very runny. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open another one of my packages. We're going to bake another one, and I'm not going to put as much water in there. That'll give you a better idea. 5 cups was just way too much. So let me get that off, and I'll salvage that somehow. And I'm going to cook that one up. So let's save this bag for something else. Save that. I did find, let me show you. Let me get that. That the foil, I did find that the foil lid didn't hold up well, so you'll want to remove that when you bake it. It held up fine on the pre-made one, but not on the, with all that water and moisture, the lid just got soft. So I'm going to take this off. I knew I forgot to put the foil in this one, so that's why I opened that one up. Alright, I think what it was when I made this one, laid it out, I filled it edge to edge. And as you can see, this doesn't go edge to edge, and that's where my discrepancy in water is. So this time I'm going to put less water in it. That's 2 cups. And this is 4 cups. I don't know if I'm going to put that all in there. We'll cover top layer of noodles. Alright, so I put 4 cups in there. Originally I put 5 cups. So, let's put this, cover it up. I'll put that in the oven for 45 minutes. That seemed to be a good time at 375. And I'll see you in 45 minutes. Okay, so there we have it. Just to refresh your memory and mine, this is the fresh one that I just made and stuck in the refrigerator to bake when I baked the other one. This one is the one that I added 5 cups of water to, which was too runny. And this one I added 4 cups of water to, and it seems to have come out much firmer. What I did was, while I was baking this one, I went ahead and put this one back in, and it got firmer too. So this one's cooked for an hour and a half, and this was 45 minutes. And then what I did was pull the foil off and put it back in the oven for 15 minutes just to brown the top of it. And they're still bubbling away, so these two are very hot, and you should never cut a lasagna too hot or else it'll all fall apart anyway. So I'm going to let these cool down. This one's well cool because we cooked it first. Then we'll cut into each one of these and dish it out and do a comparison. But just on eye appeal, I think this one looks pretty good. And to be honest with you, I think that one looks pretty good too. I like a nice, not burnt, but crispy texture. So this might be pretty good now that I evaporated a lot of the water, extra water I had on that out. So we'll have to wait and see. But my stomach's growling. So anyway, I'm going to let this sit probably about 20 minutes. Let it cool down nice and cool so that I can get a nice slice out of it. And then I'll see you then. Alright, it's been about 15 minutes. So let's cut into this. This one's nice and cold. Oh, not cold, very warm. Okay, there's one slice. That one fell apart. Still a bit soupy on the inside. Hopefully this one comes out a lot better. Seems like it. These are a lot hotter, and that's probably part of why it fell apart. Yeah. See if I can get that in there without falling apart. So there's water in the bottom of that one. So I'm betting I could have put even less than 4 cups in there. Judging from that, probably about a half a cup in there. You're going to have to play with it. So let's try the cooler, fresh one. Very nice. Actually, the fresh one's got moisture, water in the bottom too, so Let's try the burnt one. Get some of that topping on there. Wow. I think this one has more flavor than that one, to be honest with you, than the fresh one. Wonder why that would be. Let's try the 4 cups of water one. Yeah, that's good. The only difference I did with this one, other than put too much water, is the second 45 minutes I didn't cover it. And that's probably where that stronger flavor is coming from. This over browned top, which I like, by the way. But this one tastes very good. Let me compare that again. Get another bite. Now the fresh one, you really taste the fire roasted tomatoes in that. You can really taste that a nice strong flavor. The reconstituted one from freeze dry, it's a much more subtle fire roasted tomato flavor. And I know you guys probably won't believe me, out of all 3 of these, I think the freeze dried actually tastes better than the fresh. It's almost like all the flavors in the lasagna kind of blend together much better after freeze dried. So it's a more balanced flavor, I guess. I don't know how to describe that. The fresh, you get the flavors are separate. That's why I quit hanging my mic on my bibs. The flavors are separate in the lasagna that's fresh. And they're, now I don't know what the word is. It's just more balanced in the freeze dried. The noodles are very soft in the freeze dried. Everything reconstituted beautifully, but I'd say the noodles are just a little bit soft, and that you might want to reduce the water even more than the 4 cups, say 3.5. I don't know. Certainly has enough moisture in it to reconstitute what we have here, and there's still quite a bit. I don't know if you can you see that. Get this in the camera for you. Can you see the liquid that's still left in the bottom there? So you could probably get away with 3.5 cups. But having said that, I really like this the way it is now. That is so good. And much, maybe it's just because my fresh one's cold or something. It's not cold, but it's warm versus hot. I just think the freeze dried actually tastes better, and I know that's going to be hard to believe. It's amazing me, but I really, really like that. The twice baked lasagna is good. Tastes about the same as this, but it's got a crispier top to it, so it kind of adds a little texture to it. Maybe I really like this just the way it is. I'm trying to think, do I want to try to improve that by crisping that top up any more than what it is? And really, to be honest with you, I don't. if I were when I reconstitute the next tray, the one left that I have left, I'll do it the same way. I'll put 4 cups of water in it. I know I'll end up with extra water in the bottom, but I think it just came out beautiful. It's really inspired me to try some other things, I think. So, there you have it. There's a comparison. I got a lot of lasagna to get through, but my brother and I will get through it. As you can see, this is an experiment that I showed you, a partial fail. A lot of my stuff that I do, you don't even see. And it's very expensive, very expensive. So, I really appreciate my subscribers, and I really appreciate the people who comment and thumbs up my videos. What I got now is I got I've actually had it for a while, I just haven't posted nothing on it. www.johninbibs.com. And what I'll do is I will include the recipe. I won't do it tonight, it's getting late. But tomorrow, Saturday, I will write up the recipe step by step and what I did, what I added, cooking and all that stuff into that blog. I'll put that in the blog, maybe with some photos of some of the steps, and you can kind of follow me there if you would. I'll put a link in the description below. I'll also put a link to the trays I use, because I think these are really nice. They weren't that expensive. I can't remember what I paid, so I'd be guessing if I told you right now, but I'll put a link, an Amazon link to that. Those are affiliate links. When I use an Amazon link, it's an affiliate link. And if you click that link, it helps me out. Pennies on the dollars, but those pennies adds up. And they really help me out a lot. That's basically how I get my budget to try new things. And pay my electric bill for the freeze dryer. And yeah, so I'm really happy with the 4 cups. I actually think it tastes better than the fresh. And I hope you enjoyed the video. I know it was a long one. I apologize for that, but I really wanted to show you the whole process. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.